I've been really experimenting with stuff lately, as I know you guys have probably noticed. And I've definitely recognized that I need to make some pretty serious changes around here in terms of what I'm doing and what I'm creating. I am in the middle of yet another rebrand. I want to see what it feels like for me to fully commit to producing creative content. And so I will occasionally pop on here and do content like the content that you guys will be seeing in the next few weeks and probably months. But my goal is ultimately to shift pretty sharply into doing higher quality, more creative content. I want to keep coming and doing these little live streams here and there. But what I've recognized is that I really want to commit myself to producing something creative because that's what's calling me right now. So, we are here today to talk about the Sugar Room Brawl, which was a confrontation between two transgender women and two cis women at a Houston based bar called Sugar Room. Now, this story is a little bit old, but I wanted to give you guys my reaction to it. At the time, I made a point of not watching everything so I could give myself time to do a reaction. So, here we are today. And I thought that this was a really interesting topic because it sort of touched on how cis women will sometimes react when they see cis men express attraction to transgender women. And I've had some experiences very recently that led me to want to talk about this. All right, so this is the initial video. We're going to watch the video from two angles. Shout out to my assistant, Alyssa, for putting together all of the videos that we're going to be watching on this stream. So anyway, this is going to be the first POV that I saw, and you'll see that wigs did indeed fly in this confrontation. A mess, right? Like, you see in the video that, let's just watch it again. Someone's wig came off. They're trying to, they're getting the cops, they're pulling them back. It's a whole mess. So let's watch from one more angle.
Hold on. What's it going on? Can you hold on, please?
Whoa. What is it? What is really going on? Oh my gosh. So she threw a drink on her. She threw a glass at her. And she yelled, "You're a man." Wow. So, okay. When I first saw this video, it kind of gagged me because personally for me, I try my very best not to be in shit. And for me, maybe that's not a good thing. I don't know. Maybe I've accepted a smaller place in my life. Sometimes I feel I don't always pursue things in the way that I should because I'm trying to like not be in the way or unsafe. But it kind of gagged me just to see these trans women not just be attacked, but then also to defend themselves in this way. It made me think a lot about maybe moments where I should have done the same when people were being disrespectful towards me. But obviously, we don't know everything that's going on. So these people did turn to social media to share their perspective. So we will be seeing what social media had to say after we watch what actually happened from apparently both sides. So this is someone who I know is really popular on TikTok who talks all about the Sugar Room.
What's up, y'all? St. Chris here. I'm a DJ from Houston, Texas, and I throw an R&B party every Thursday at a club called Sugar Room, and it's called Something to Feel, and it is the most beautiful party in the country. For real. This is the energy that we share and the love that we share on this night is so important, not only to the nights and to the moments we all get to share together, but to the culture of the city. Because if someone tries to recreate what we're doing, that's a good step for the city to create more love and to create more good spaces with good intentions. Now, I wasn't going to talk about this. I wasn't going to make a video about this, and I'm not even going to say much. But I'm going to say this. Sugar Room is still Sugar Room. Yes, some shit happened. Shit never happens at Sugar Room. And even that night, that happened early, the night was amazing. Last Thursday was beautiful. Anyone that was there can tell you. I even made a video that's on my page right now of the night. And there was no shift in energy because we know what it is. We on the same page, right? First things first. Thank you, TikTok, and y'all are fucking crazy. And to the people that are DMing me, texting me, and calling me and sending me all this information about people, I'm not speaking on that shit, and it is not my job to put that shit out there. That is your job as the person that holds that information. That is not my place. 2, we're not even gonna begin to play about how y'all be playing with trans people. Low and 7 ain't do shit. They was chilling. And then the guys even said that they didn't care. They're like, they're chilling. They're cool. They didn't do shit to be yelled at. You see what I'm saying? And picked on. They didn't do shit. It's called transphobia. And we are not fucking co-signing that shit. That shit's lame. The fuck is wrong with y'all? So, Low and 7, please feel free to come back and hit me if y'all need anything. Low knows she got my number now. We're good. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing my research and everything before I said anything, and I've watched every single one of y'all videos, and this shit's getting a little out of hand. So let's all take a step back and remember what Sugar Room is. And it's a place of love. It's a place where when you walk through those doors, we're all family now. You see what I'm saying? Excuse me, I need to get by. Oh, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you know what? This line's taking a little long. Let me pay for your drinks and get my drink too. You see what I'm saying? We all look out for each other. There don't be fighting in Sugar Room. So someone said, oh, Sugar Room ghetto now. That's one fight that happened before the night even really started picking up. And the night went on. It was beautiful, and no one even noticed that shit happened. No one noticed until people started posting videos. To the dude that tried to put his finger in the trans girl's faces too, what's up with you, bro? Relax. Like, I think everyone got a little bit too excited. I think that people need to take a long look in the mirror and ask themselves why they feel so strongly towards trans women. And I think everyone needs to do the one thing I'm always preaching, which is choose love. Choose to be a loving person despite what this world gives you. You feel me? Life's hard. Be there for each other and work hard on doing nice things for each other, because me, myself, I spent a lot of money and put a lot of effort into creating nights in the city through my talents as a DJ to make you feel seen, loved, give you memories. And I DJ my ass off to try to make you feel good. I'm DJing how I'm DJing, trying to give you a special night. So I appreciate everyone on TikTok who was making videos, and we're all on the same page. You feel me? We know what it is. Ain't nobody got to really keep talking about the same topics. We know what it is, and I'm tired. I'm fucking tired, gang. And I've seen so much now that's not out there that I'm a little fucked up about this shit. And I need us all to reel it back a little bit. We all need us all to reel it back a little bit, because it's fun to have a hot topic and to laugh at the same shit. We all on the same page with this shit. But it's time to reel it back. Let's practice being loving towards some people that were berated for being themselves, and letting them know, like, we fuck with y'all. And if you see them, how you doing, girl? That's our family now. You feel me? Because we stick up for our family. I love y'all. Continue to be loving to each other. Continue to be good and spread love. I'm not going to talk about the situation. Y'all have talked enough. And there's a lot of people who I've commented on their posts who have a very good understanding of what it means to be a good human. I ain't got no beef with nobody. I ain't got no issue with nobody. I just fuck with who I fuck with. And if you're coming into any of my spots and trying to change the energy like that in a negative way, you can't come back. I love y'all. I pray that we have an amazing Valentine's weekend where everyone's safe. And I'm working with my team to make sure that if you come into any room where I'm spinning, you're going to be good. And I'm always to make sure y'all good.
So to my understanding, what happened was there were these 2 transgender women in the section, right? And then there were these two cis women who wanted to also, I guess, be in the section, or saw that these two transgender women were in the section, and they felt the need to go and tell the guys that they were transgender. And the guys didn't care. And so that's kind of the gag of it all. And that's kind of where the confrontation hit. Now, we're going to hear from them, but that was initially my first understanding. I saw this video, and then I saw the videos from the people actually involved. All right, so we're going to get the trans girl's perspective first, and then we're going to get the cis girl's perspective.
Hey, y'all, I'm Lo.
I'm Seven.
And we're just going to get to the bottom of the whole Sugar Room debacle.
Yeah, because it wasn't a fight, because we don't do that.
We're too classy. So let's start from the beginning. We're having a great time in Sugar Room. Honestly, got kind of hot. So, let's go across the street to the club called EXO. On the way out, we run into the guy that ends up inviting us to the section later on in the night. Mm-hmm. So basically, Seven tells me he's handsome. He's like, thank you. He gets our names and asks us, are we leaving? Yeah. And we leave and head to EXO. We're there for a minute. We're like, let's go back to Sugar Room. After we come back to Sugar Room, I run into that guy again, but this time he's with like two other friends. And he's like, hey, we're about to get a table. Y'all should come with us. So we're like, great, let's go. We followed him to the table. I want to say we were there when the table first became a table. Mm-hmm. Like, we were literally outside watching the people clean up from the last party. When it's time to sit down finally, two girls come from behind us and sit down before we can. I want to say this is a big couch. It's enough to fit 4 girls, but the way they sat down, it was almost as if they didn't want us to sit down. Yeah. They were taking up all the space. Only enough room for Seven to sit down. Yeah. So I let Seven sit down because I'm still talking to the guy. He notices the kind of weird energy. So he's like, do you want a seat? And I'm like, yeah. So he has somebody else get up so I can sit down. This time I'm sitting across from them. So at this point, I'm getting a message from Seven talking about how that was just so rude of them because they could have scooted over. It wasn't very girls girl like, honestly. Yeah. Giving us weird vibes. Seven was basically saying how she felt uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. So I tapped the guy next to me and I'm like, hey, can my homegirl take your seat? And he's like, sure, no problem. I want to say Seven doesn't like to cause any inconvenience.
So I was just like, no, like, you sit there, I'll stay here. It's okay.
Exactly. And he's like, no, he's insisting, like, no, take my seat, take my seat.
These girls are actively watching these men accommodate us in the section.
Exactly. And he's like, come take my seat, it's no problem. Mm-hmm. Seven comes and sits next to me. When she does this, the girls are just mugging us. Like, they have an issue with us or something. I don't really know what that was about.
We're sitting down. I'm next to my bestie now, and we're just talking, having a good time. The vibes are good. In her story time, she mentions that she came up to me, and she's just like, oh, I was super nice. I said, hi, what is y'all's names? Y'all want something to drink? There was no bottles out in the section, so how you ask us if we want to shot?
There was no liquor.
Are you serious? Like,
y'all can look at the video.
You're a liar.
You're a liar, Lisa.
So the girl walks up to me. She squats down in my face and very nice, nasty. She's kind of just like, what are you doing here? Who invited you to the section? Why are you sitting down? Mind you, this girl, I presume not to be Black. It's Black History Month. I'm feeling like Rosa Parks. So I took the high road and I'm just like, the guys invited us to the section, like, right over there. She's like, who? And I'm just like, over there, like, don't ask me, go ask him, right? So then she gets up, she turns her back towards us, and like for the next 10 minutes, she's jumping around, acting like a cheerleader in the section. She's parading herself, she's looking back, she's giggling, she's smiling, she looks a mess.
Honestly, what we already thought, the guys ended up confirming.
Out and confirming like what was kind of going on when we thought she was acting like a cheerleader.
Now, per what the guys said, the guy claimed allegedly that she came up to them and said the first time, hey, you have 2 trans girls in the section. Mm-hmm. The guys claimed that they said that they denied the fact that we were trans. Like, no, they're not trans, whatever. Then they said that she sat down, she got up again, this time bringing a witness, a waitress or something.
Girl, what are you, like, girl, go talking.
Right, confirming that we were trans. Yeah. And so at this point, per what the guy said, they were like, okay, well, we're chilling, doesn't really bother us.
And mind you, if it's homies vibes, you got 2 of the bad bitches in the section.
Why are we not just having fun?
Like, what?
Exactly. Got up another time. This time, really, like, upset about the fact that the guys have not kicked us out of the section.
We're keeping all of it, like, girl, you see, like...
we're like, what? Yeah. At this point, she goes and she grabs security.
But before she grabs security, we're already like, girl, we're above this. Like, no shade. We could just leave. Like, we already worked our set. We already did it. We already danced. We already had fun. I was just like, you want to go?
At this point, the security guard, who I already know, like, we come there all the time, literally. He's like, hey, like, this is these guys' section, no, table or patio. And so I'm like, I know that. We're with them. He's like, okay. And he walks off.
Yes.
It never gave.
We're just like, okay, we're finna go, girl.
Like, it literally never gave. We got kicked out the section and we just were like,
we were pressed.
We don't want to go. Like, it never gave that. Yeah, no. But I did want to talk to the guy for clarity because he was on my case all night.
That was cool.
Like, what's going on? So I go talk to him. I'm like, hey, so First, old girl is coming up to us asking who invited us here.
Mm-hmm.
Then security, like, what's going on?
What's going on?
And so he was like, well, we have no problem with you. And that she didn't want girls in the section that she did not know.
Yeah.
So
at this point, we're kind of over it and we're walking, right? We're walking past her and I was still taken aback how she came and approached me. So I was just like, hey, like, why did you feel you need to come up to me and ask me what we were doing in the section? So then she was just like, honey, I don't have a problem. Ask them. Everybody was wondering why y'all were there. Just very mean, very nice, nasty. So I was just like, who is everybody? So then she goes, all the N-words, all the N-words. Girl, story time, she mentioned that I took my finger and I pointed it on her face. That is not professional. That is very degrading. I would never, ever point my finger on somebody's face, okay? Now, what I did do is when she was saying N-word, I presumed this girl not to be Black. I thought she was Middle Eastern, non-Black Hispanic, or fully white. So I was just like, wait, are you Black? It's Black History Month. You're in my face saying the N-word. I was taken aback. So then she starts stumbling. She gets upset. I don't know if I provoked some childhood trauma, but she was just like, oh, my dad's Black. And I was just like, okay, but if you don't look Black and I'm a fully Black woman, you're not supposed to be in my face saying the N-word, right? So then now I'm just like, what's going on? Da, da, da. She takes my hand, pushes it out the way, and then she pushes the hell out of me. So now security comes between us, and this is where the video starts, where she's trying to jump over me and trying to hit me. I had my hand in her face. I don't fight. I had no intentions of fighting her, and I'm very, very classy. So I'm just like, girl, you look a mess. Move, move, move. This girl tried to dehumanize me because she went for the jugular and she tried to pull off my wig, thinking that I was going to be embarrassed, thinking that I was going to look bald, whatever the case may be. So my wig gets pulled off. I feel a cold breeze, and now I'm done. I'm just like, oh. In the video, you see me like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so done. In her story, she didn't mention that she pushed me. And then also she tried to drop like, oh, and by the way, I'm Black. Because you know the whole altercation started because you were saying the N-word. It was a mess.
Exactly. And this is why I'm coming. Because at this point, you took off my girl's wig.
Yeah.
I don't want to fight you because I'm just not the type of girl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I felt like at this point, I wanted to even the playing field because I didn't want there to just be a gag on our side. So I let her wear my drink. After I let her wear my drink, I was like, let me give her the cup as the accessory.
Right.
And that's because just honestly what y'all saw in the video.
My wig is off. I'm hearing the oohs. I'm ready to go. Okay.
Head full of hair.
Mind you, head full of hair, fresh braids.
Exactly.
Clock that tea.
Cock it.
So then basically, this man, this grown-ass man who literally was trying to talk to me all
day.
And I was paying it. I'm saying, after my wig is off, a camera in my face. Grogu. No.
Bye.
I move the camera in my face. And then he starts pulling the whole, mind you, this man had nothing to do with the story time, but he was like, oh, I'll beat the life, just going off on me. Grogu.
And that's what y'all saw.
That's the story time. The low-key haters who probably felt a way about us, that we're so pretty, of course. But when we go out, it's always good vibes. We never have bad intentions with other women. But of course, girls kind of feel threatened.
And let me end it by saying this.
Yeah.
To the girls, if y'all watch this video, I literally want y'all to know that night did not have to go like that. No. Literally, y'all were looking at us like, what are these trans girls doing here? We were literally saying that y'all were so pretty.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
We would have been having so much fun with y'all. Like, I did not have to give that.
Yeah.
And honestly, I really don't even like that we have to have this type of, back and forth.
Yeah. And the video came out and it had less than 1,000 views. Those girls were in the comments being so transphobic. So I was really like, girls, y'all had the intentions of embarrassing us because y'all were in the comments just talking crazy, being very transphobic.
But you have to understand, this is the internet. The internet is not dumb. It's not dumb. Sense. The story didn't make sense. Y'all told the story. It didn't make sense at all. Yeah. And the lie that you told, you still put yourself in a bad situation.
You're a liar, Lisa.
You're a liar, Lisa.
Yeah.
But honestly, girl, we don't have no beef with you. We got too much motion to even do that. We're making a story time to clear up whatever lies y'all said. Yeah. We weren't even going to speak on it when the video came out because honestly, it was beneath us. But
y'all put y'all's foot in y'all mouth and it's dragging y'all. So y'all want to give our woman? Y'all got it.
We got you one. Bye.
So now let's see what the other girl said.
It's us. The most loved, the most hated.
We love you all.
All right, y'all. Story time as promised. We're with a group of people that we don't really know like that. None of them, clear this up, none of them was our boyfriend. None of them was our man. None of that.
Like, it was just homie vibes. Like, we're walking into the spot, and one of them was sitting next to us and was like, hey, like, do you know them? Talking about the two girls that were across from us. And we were like, no.
One of the guys we were with peeped something about two individuals, and he asked us if we knew them, or like who invited them basically into this section. And then this is the part I didn't see, so you're gonna have to explain this part because I wasn't here for this interaction.
We're asking all of them like who invited them, and everyone's saying that like we don't know, like go ask them who they're here with. I go and ask, I'm super friendly. I'm like, hey, like what's y'all's names? Like, do you want a shot? Blah, blah, blah. And they tell me their names, and I was just like, oh, who do you know over here? They pointed at one of the guys. And they had said that, like, they don't know him like that he had saw them when we were walking in and told them to, like, come to the section with all of us. So after I got that message, I went back to all of them, and I was just like, well, they said that you invited them. The guy starts lying, and I do believe them that they got invited at the front door, but he tried to lie and say that he does not know them and that all of them like wanted them out of the section. So I was like, okay, well then tell security. They told security. Security asked them to leave. They went up to the guy that invited them into the section and was like, so what's the problem? Like, why do we have to leave? He was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, they're the ones with the issue, like pointing at us. And the person came up to me and was just like all in my face, like, what's your issue with me? Blah, 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 blah. And I had said, I don't have an issue. They don't want y'all in the section. So then where it started getting physical is when the finger like was in my face and touching my forehead. And I snatched the finger down and I said, get your finger out of my face. And then everything escalated. And
so then, yeah, I'm over here. I'm like this, having conversation with someone. I look over. That's my friend. She about to fight. So I got up. I went over there. You know, I exchanged some words with the other person coming at me. That's why I was telling them just to leave. Everyone else around us was also telling them, y'all need to just go. So, yeah, that's when I was just saying, like, you know, you need to get the fuck up out of here. Because I know my friend, if someone is coming at her physically, she's not scared. Like, she will fight them. And then now we're both going to have to fight.
right.
And so I was letting them know, if y'all don't get out of here, we're going to take it there, basically.
And the thing is, if like all of them was just like, oh yeah, like we know them, like they're cool, cool. We would have been taking shots with them, like making them feel welcomed, this and that. But one of them peeped something that we peeped as well. And it just made them uncomfortable and they don't want them there anymore. And that's all it was. Like,
it had nothing to do with, oh, somebody's man was hitting on them and we were upset. Like, once again, none of these men that we were with were our men, our boyfriends, nothing like that.
yeah.
So, yeah. Basically, it's not even that exciting of a story.
Like, it honestly only got physical because the finger was in my face. Like, that was it. Like, that, like, I was trying to be respectful and not let them know the reason why they didn't want them in the section. And whenever I started throwing the comment at the end that, you know,
you can see the video.
Yeah, just listen to the video. At that point, like, all gloves are off. And I try to be respectful about it.
They were throwing drinks. Like, it was physical on both ends.
Yeah.
I personally think my friend won because wigs got snatched, but that's just how it is. Like, if you're gonna be physical, I'm petty, I don't care. If you're gonna be physical,
because it didn't
have
to
someone,
be like that.
You can't be upset that they get physical back. Like, that's just that.
Right.
Like, and also, we don't care whose side anybody is on. We don't care.
And by the way, guys, I'm Blaque. Yes. I am Blaque. And it's my month as well. So, and someone that said I look like Queen Naja. Thank you.
Because she does. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for everyone that's been like, keeping it lighthearted and
Because
just,
we really don't get like that. Like, we don't
Yeah.
at all. Like,
but we're not scary. Like, we might be cute, we might be pretty faces, but at the end of the day, like, if you're coming at us physically, we're always gonna take up for each other, and
Right.
B, like, if it gets there, it gets there. We're not scared. So
yeah.
Yeah.
We love you guys. Even if you don't love us, we love you.
more best friend content coming soon, because we
Yes.
know y'all love us.
The misgendering. I got thoughts. So here's the thing. They often say that the truth is somewhere in the middle. And I think maybe that may be the case here, right? I think that these two cis women clearly had a problem with these trans girls being in the section. And first and foremost, I want to start by saying this. Maybe I'm wrong with some of what I'm going to say in this section because I go to goth clubs. I'm not a normie club kind of person. So maybe some of this shit doesn't make sense to me for that reason, but sounds like a section is like a wide space, a wide group of people, right? Not everyone is necessarily friends. It seems like both sides said that they didn't really know people in the section that terribly well. It seems like because who those girls were with might have had an issue with them being transgender. She wanted to get those other girls out because they didn't like that they were there, but the other people did. And I do believe that it's probably true that when faced with the pressure to be honest about what actually happened, the guy probably said, "Oh, I don't know. I didn't know. I don't care," or whatever. I don't doubt that he probably did deny it to a cis woman, right? But it seems like ultimately they didn't care. And it seems like from what we know from everyone that's been in the story, it was a non-issue. And when I said earlier, I had some experiences recently where I wanted to kind of talk about this. It's recently I've had the issue of going out because I've been trying to get out a little bit more and just having conflict with people because I'm trans, right? And it's funny because being in the very polysaturated space that I'm in right now, I'm not really looking to date new people. Is it possible for me to date new people? I mean, probably, but like, I don't have a great need and it's not a huge pull for me right now. So it's just not very important. So at the end of the day, I'm not going out and having conversations with people because I want to have sex with them or I want to date them or I have that kind of interest in them. But what I have realized is that for a lot of people, that is kind of what it is. Like they don't even want to be around transgender women because they don't even want to come close to being in a situation where they could interact with one in a flirtatious manner because of what that may say about their masculinity. And it's very bizarre because at the end of the day, to me at least, none of this shit really matters. None of this shit really matters because if you're not having sex with each other, who cares? But it's clear that those girls had an issue with it. I mean, that's why what came out of her mouth came out of her mouth. And it's clear that some of the people that, they were with were also transphobic. And at the end of the day, that's, to me, such a silly thing. So we wanted to watch some of the reactions that people have had to it and give my thoughts to it. So let's go into that. Okay, so this was a witness who was apparently there at the sugar room.
Long story short, one of the men had DM'd me who was in the video and said, "Hey, that's not what happened. Call me." I called him and he gave a breakdown. The synopsis of the breakdown was as follows. The two birds met the guys who had the section at a bar. They only met them because they thought they were cute, and they sent a waitress to go tell them men that they thought they were cute. I'm not gonna use the N-word because y'all are not gonna get my video flagged. Again, long story short, they were trying to bandwagon with these men all the way to Sugar Room. Followed them there. One of the guys basically was walking into Sugar Room, and that's where he met Low and Seven. Seven had said, "Oh my God, like, you're so handsome." He's like, "Thank you so much. Are you leaving?" Seven was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Okay, well, you guys have a good night." They go in, they get the section, the birds go into the section. Low and Seven end up coming back inside. And he's like, "Oh my God, I thought you guys were leaving." They're like, "Yeah, we decided to come back. Is it cool if we come in your section?" He said, "Yes, absolutely. Have a seat, like, hang out, do whatever you'd like." Kristen went up to the guys and was like, "Those are dudes, right?" And they're like, "Nah, no, they're not guys, they're not guys." She's like, "No, they are." She kept pressing the issue over and over and over and over. And he asked his homeboys. His homeboys were like, "No, they're not, whatever." She then goes and like goes to like pull the server to ask the server. The server's like, oh, I think that they are trans. Here comes Kristen. Oh, see, I told you. And the guys were like, okay, like with that, you know, like we're not trying to crack at them, so it doesn't, like that has nothing to do with us. It's like we're not like, who gives a fuck type shit. Like them being in the section did not bother them. Kristen continued to come back to the guys and was like, their hands are bigger than yours, like like making a fuss. So the guys finally snapped and was like, if you have such a problem with them, go and tell them. Like, you go say something to them. Like, literally, since you're so mad. That's when Kristen went and approached them about getting out of the section, etc., etc. That's when Low and Seven went to the guys and was like, what do you mean you don't want us in the section? Like, what's going on? And that's when the guys were literally like, we don't have a problem with you being in the section. They do, which is why they said that. Shit ensued. The guys are saying that Kristen was the aggressor the entire time, yelling out slurs, saying all kinds of crazy ass shit. And that's why in the video, you see the guys standing there not doing shit because they're like, bitch, you're doing all of this for nothing. Like you're doing all of this for literally nothing just because you're mad that they're trans. And they were like, it was giving that she was mad that they were in a section in proximity to them with those men. Basically, they were mad. But yeah, that's why you see the guys like trying to break it up. Like, bro, like this is actually crazy. You don't see any of the guys yelling at Lower Seven. You don't see anybody taunting them. The only person that's sitting there actively acting a fool is fucking Kristen. And that's because she started it. It's because it was all her problem. Every single one of the guys said that they blocked both of the birds on every single social media platform after that because it was insane. Low and Seven said they're coming out with their story time, but I bet my bottom dollar it's going to be pretty much similar to what the guys are saying. And for everybody, this is literally the message I got from this morning from the guy.
Damn. So, yeah, that sounds pretty fucking believable to me. I mean, I think sometimes cis women have such a negative reaction to trans women for reasons that are quite revealing. Like, what's been kind of interesting for me in this phase of life I'm in, where, like, I have boyfriends and, like, I go out and I am not really trying to flirt with people, but of course people flirt with me. I haven't really talked about this a lot, but I lost 70 pounds and that has caused a whole wave of people to express attraction to me. It's a whole new thing for me. It's just funny because sometimes I'll be interacting positively with someone and I'll have a cis woman step in between in order to defend him from me, like I'm trying to get him, when really I'm just talking to someone. And it's kind of sad because you realize that cis women sometimes they're living in this misogynistic society that like really encourages them to be so inherently competitive with women. Like from what we heard of the story, right? These two girls were trying to get in to Sugar Room. They were trying to get into the section, right? Even they say in their story time, they didn't really know the people very well, right? They're trying to get into the section. They sent a whole message via bartender to the guys to say that they were attractive, right? And in contrast, the moment that they walked into Sugar Room, they ran into Low and Seven and they were just very taken by them and invited them to the section without really going through much effort. And that's just kind of the funny thing about that, right? Like, these trans girls didn't have to try, but these cis girls did. And it sucks because, like, I want to make it very clear, I'm never trying to compete with anyone. But I've definitely noticed in my life many times that there are people who are in silent competition with me. And it's so strange to me how sometimes cis women will get so wrapped up in this. Because even in watching the video of the two women talking about this, I didn't get the impression that she wasn't, like, bothered, right? Like, I got the impression that she was bothered. You can even hear that because she refuses to refer to them as women. She says that person, right? These people are so bothered by these trans women just being in proximity to them and the idea that they could possibly get male attention. And it's sad to me because at the end of the day, male attention is so baseline. Male attention is so like bottom of the barrel. Like it's just like almost like a boring aspect of daily life. It's not very exciting to get male attention. And yet people act like it's something that we should be competitive about. It's very, very strange. Anyway, I want to watch some other people's reactions to the Sugar Room.
All right, so here's my 2 cents on the Low and Seven. My girls and the drama, the debacle at the Sugar Room. So I have had a similar situation at a club, and I just don't know. I don't understand why cis women feel the need to be so offended or the need to spill our tea to the guys that are attracted to us. Like, they're trying to make the catch known, and it's cringe, and it's not girl. I just don't understand, like, what do you get from that? Like, what do you get? What gets you off from telling other people that so and so is trans, that so and so is in your section, and you have a trans girl in this section? Like, what the fuck does it even matter? Why does it matter to you personally? Why do you feel so attacked, so bothered to deliver that kind of feedback and news and tea to the guys and the section? It's making my head itch. Like, why are you doing that? It's so weird. I just don't get it. Like, it has happened to me before. My tea has been spilt, like, to guys who give me attention, and they're not getting the attention. And it's like, we don't have to be enemies. Like, we're both women. Like, I just don't understand. Like, why? Why? I think those girls were threatened by Low and Seven. They're beautiful girls. They're not problematic girls. They were invited into that section. And when we're invited into a space, we take up space because we're fucking beautiful, mind you. And I also feel like it was transphobia too, because they resulted to they them pronouns in their video, which was also very cringe because Low and Seven do not give they them. They give she her. And then it gets to a thing, it's like, we're all in a section. We're all pouring it up. We're all trying to party and have fun. And then shit like that happens. It's not a vibe. It was not cute whatsoever. And then, like, I don't know, it just makes me really aggravated. Like, even talking about it, like, it's so ill. Very ill.
Yeah, it's so strange to me because in the context that we're talking about, right? Like, we're talking about like a party. Like, you guys are out and about at the club having a good time. It's not really like this thing where you need to make sure everyone in the space has the right parts so that people can fuck correctly and that there's a right rate. Like, it's weird to see cis women especially trying to moderate that. This whole idea that there need to be enough fuckable women in a section, right? Like, it's actually kind of an interesting way that I see like misogyny pop up in this context, right? When cis women feel the need to go out of their way to out trans women, it kind of reveals like a over fixation with like making sure that everyone has compatible hetero sex and that the men who want to consume them have something to consume, right? Something that is pretty prevalent in club culture and also quite harmful. And there's really no reason for the two women to even try to moderate that, right? Like, at the end of the day, you're in a section, have a good time, party it up, right? Like, there's no reason to be so shitty. But anyway.
I just caught myself up on the sugar room fiasco that happened in Houston, Texas. And I'm sorry, but the men are not getting enough smoke for me. The men in this story are not getting enough smoke. People are actually giving them praise. So if you haven't seen, basically, Sugar Room, I guess, is a lounge in Houston, and there was an altercation that went viral on social media, and basically these women were basically bullying these trans women. They all were invited into the same section, and these women were intimidated by these trans women because they looked beautiful and they looked better than these women, right? And they basically were trying to bully them out of a section that wasn't even theirs. It was a section that men invited them to, right? Now, I can agree that those women are 100% transphobic. They were being transphobic in their videos, in their story times, in their comments. They were haters. They were straight jealous of these trans women. But the reason why I think that these men are also wrong is because you knew that these girls were going to those trans women to pick with them. Because the trans woman literally said that the other woman said, who invited you here? Nobody wants you in this section. Y'all knew that that girl was doing that to them, and you never spoke up and said, yo, it's cool, chill, like we invited them into this section, they're good here. Men will definitely play both sides. They will play both sides, and when it comes to like this sort of situation where trans women are involved, men will know that a woman is trans, but they will pretend like they don't know so that if they get caught with them, they can say, oh, I didn't know that they were trans. And I could bet you those men were saying to those girls, oh, we didn't know that they were trans when we invited them over here. And so those girls decided to play Captain Save-A-Ho, thinking that they were a prize to these men, being pick-me's. And now look. And I know one of the men came on social media like, oh, we knew that they were trans and we didn't care. No, you're trying to save face, because if you're a real man and this is your section, you would have told those girls to chill out. But you sent them to do your dirty work because you weren't prepared for them to clock that those women were trans. And now you have to save face. Because even one of the trans women said that when the other girl pulled her wig off, one of the boys pulled out his camera and started recording. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. And I seen somebody make a video saying, shout out to, the guy who said that he knew that the women were trans and they were just vibing and they didn't really care. He's saving face because he doesn't want to get called out for transphobia, because those girls are begging people to take their video. My phone rang and I got to go because I'm going out. But basically what I was saying, those girls are begging people to take their video down because they're getting called out for transphobia and they don't want to get fired for their job. So why don't those men come on here and be like, yeah, I knew they were trans and I didn't want them in my section, and they get fired from their jobs too. I don't trust those men.
That's a good point. Like, I definitely think that the men involved in this situation could have spoken up. So that is the Sugar Room brawl that happened between 2 trans women and 2 cis women. What a strange and interesting story. I definitely think that the men could have stood to be less cowardly here. There's a reason why they were made to feel that no one wanted them in the section, even though they were indeed invited. So that is all I have for today. Please make sure to click on my subscribe button if you enjoy this kind of content. Like I said earlier, I am definitely going to be trying to do some other stuff. I'll be having content for you guys in the interim. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Please stay hot and introspective, and always remember and never forget that you are beautiful and you are loved. Bye.